The New York Times recently had a profile of this Trump gathering, and they talked about a lot of different things. To be fair, people should look it up. But one thing they had was, what I have seen as a growing trend in interviews of Trump supporters is when the question gets to what if Trump loses in 2020, his supporters, or at least his most fervent supporters, seem very comfortable implying that they're going to pick up their guns and start shooting people. Which if I were gonna do that, I would probably hold my cards closer to my chest. But they're putting them out there for everyone to see. And in this most recent article, Mark Villalta says he's been stockpiling firearms in case Trump doesn't win. He says nothing less than a civil war would happen. I don't believe in violence, but I'll do what I got to do. I would argue you believe in violence, Mr. Villalta. But what do you think about these Trump supporters claiming that they're going to start shooting if he loses?
I mean, obviously it's a huge problem, and it's of course connected with some of the increase of basically right-wing terrorism. I really have a problem with the overuse of that word, but some of these events could certainly be described in those terms. However, I really think though, when you look, of course there's a reciprocal relationship between what Trump stokes in this country and the kind of rhetoric you see in that article. But I think that it's very important to disaggregate between, again, people who might be alienated, people who might in some cases be enormously destructive and a problem, in terms of electorally and what they represent socially in this country. But I think you have to, again, go to the top and you have to look at what Bill Barr thinks about this country as an example, what the Republican Party as a decades-long project. And I always try to disaggregate these things. I'm obviously somebody who thinks that there is a capital class that envelops both parties that has, generated obscene inequality and is hurtling us into it. We're in an ecological crisis. And I think it totally transcends partisan politics, and it's a question of economics and many other things. However, in the Republican Party specifically, I go back to this really good book called Democracy in Chains by Nancy MacLean, that there are a lot of people from the donor networks to the judicial system in the Republican Party that they've been stuffing the courts, of people who really don't believe in democracy as we would normally define it, and they want to greatly narrow it. And so that's why you can't separate this from the assaults on the Voting Rights Act and civil rights, the rhetoric that you get fed from the top. But then also we got to be real. I mean, the other problem here, and I don't care, I'm not even talking about hypocrisy. I'm talking this performative contradiction for Democrats to come out and say rightly that this administration represents a threat to democracy, and then re-up the Patriot Act and give these guys a completely unaccountable military budget. So I think these things are very concerning. I think if you look at scenarios where societies really deteriorate, whether it's like in the Balkans or Indonesia or Burundi or whatever, right-wing paramilitaries, gang forces are kind of subcontracted these roles by authoritarian governments. So I see some seeds of that in articles like that, but I still think I'm going to get less aggravated and worried necessarily by some idiots in a newspaper article, no offense, versus, what is actually coming from the top of this administration. That is a much more durable concern.
Okay, I think we can agree there. Everybody definitely go check out the Michael Brooks Show. Michael, as always, we love having you on.
Yeah, you guys are great. Happy holidays. I'm gonna go back to my vacation. Thanks, guys.
Okay, go take a nice nap. Thank you for watching this clip from The Damage Report. For more content from the show and access to TYT Network members-only exclusives, go to tyt.com/Brooke. Wait, no, it's tyt.com/John. Go to tyt.com/John to sign up.